1994 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. It's got the V8. 169,671 miles. He's got a split open CV boot on this right front, and it's starting to make a little bit of noise from there, so we're gonna get a new CV axle in there. I don't work on a whole lot of older vehicles anymore. My shop has a rule of 2000 and newer only. However, he's been coming here since before I had that rule, so he's grandfathered in. Plus he's like an 80-year-old man, and that makes him grandfathered in also. And we're gonna be doing a set of spark plugs and PCV valve and hose and grommet on it also. But we're just gonna start out with this CV. Get that handled and taken care of. Not even rusty, dude? Hell yeah. Ew, it's greasy, dude. Beautiful. Everything's coming apart nicely, so that's kind of scary, actually. So we got to get that bearing out without damaging it, and I have some tips of the trade for that. We don't want to be hitting on this hub to separate it, because that's going to be probably damaging this bearing. And we can't use like the Lyle separator on this. For one, these ears are super thin on these. And it might be okay, but again, if we're bolting up the Lyle separator and pushing on it from here, that is pulling on the bearing itself. So what I like to do is loosen these bolts up and use an air hammer with a tool on it. This guy right here is specifically meant for that job. And once you loosen the bolt up, you can put this around. It'll hit on the washer of the bolt, not on the head, so it won't damage that. And I've done it 100 times and never damaged a bolt before. Nice. As you can see, pressing out nicely. Hit the upper one if we want. Yes, sir. Go back the other way. Easy. She was a little rusty, but came right out. Plate, we'll want to clean that up a little bit. And out the axle goes. Lovely. Oh yeah, she's crunchy, dude. Alright, now this thing doesn't need to look brand new, but we're just knocking off all the big chunks. And now we got a nice smooth bore for that bearing to go back into, so that won't get all bound up. Whenever you're sanding down a face like this, keep your sander nice and flat like this. You don't want to be digging in and cutting at an angle. And typically I'm doing this kind of motion, kind of like brushing your teeth. That'll work. And these marks right here is when somebody did this last time, they were using a chisel. And so what happens is it knocks little chunks of metal in here, and then the bearing doesn't sit flat. So if you see those, like, go ahead and sand those down until they're smooth. And this thing doesn't have to look perfect. We just don't want any chunks causing that bearing to sit wonky on there and have alignment issues built into it. Lovely. Doesn't have to look brand new, just needs to be flat. Alright, match up your splines, make sure it's the same. Make sure your diameter there looks the same, feels the same. This is the same axle. First try, hell yeah. I'm gonna lube up the splines. I'm also gonna lube up this spot where the seal rides. Now, the seal for this is way down in there. I'll put my hand inside here, and if I can help it, I'll try not to let it touch all the way down there. And just be very gentle, because when you get to the seal, you don't want to accidentally damage that seal going in. A little twist, a little wiggle. There she is. Nothing to it, dude. Easy. A little bit of the silver Tin Man stuff. Perfect. Dude, easy. Didn't even hurt. One more. Magnificent. Beautiful. Fantastic. Sometimes when I have a pretty rusty lip on a rotor, I like this little scissor tool here. And it's nice and smooth on the ends, but it'll allow you to spread the caliper out just a little bit without hurting anything. That way it fits back on there well. She'll slide right back on now, I think. Wipe off some of this grease, because it's gross, dude. Let's see, that goes on there nicely now. Ow. Pinched my finger, everything's fine. Seated plus an 1/8 of a turn. Hey, yeah, that's plenty. 1/8 to a 1/4, I should say. They're seated. Hey, yeah. That's good. On these, there's a little hole that this dowel pin sticks into. You got to make sure that's lined up right. Otherwise, your air gap will be off on your tone ring here. Hey, yeah, that's plenty. Just take a peek and make sure there's a little air gap right there and it's not gonna rub. That looks great. Star pattern on low. Torque your wheels, fools.